Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. Just thought I'd do this video real quick, and this is probably going to be the last video for a little while because my power might get shut off because of Hurricane Helene. But other than that, I got to go to work too as well on top of that. But pretty much I wanted to return to you for Pale Waves' Smitten album review that I got a chance to listen to for this album as a whole to see what I was going to think of this record overall. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for the 12 tracks for this 40-minute record and let you know my thoughts on Pale Waves. Sorry, my cat's looking at something weirdly. Pale Waves Smitten, I think their fourth studio album in their discography. So let's dive into this album review. Now, pretty much it starts with Glasgow. Above decent track. It's not too bad. I didn't really hate this song, but I had a few critiques with how Heather was singing this track some of the time, but it didn't sound that bad from what I listened to. Little upbeat of a melody and just execution-wise with how she was singing it. There were times I liked it and times where it didn't. Mostly the verses, she had her hit or miss moments with her vocals, but still, nice track. And it was the second single for this record, and interesting song for sure. That came out back in June. So 4.25 out of 5. Not a Love Song was actually a good song. I actually didn't hate this one. With how Heather was singing it from time to time, didn't sound that bad. And just guitar work and drum work was pretty smooth and solid, and just the melody was structured alright in a good way. So this track is a 4.5 out of 5. Gravity is probably one of the strongest singles I've listened to from this record. Didn't hate this one. It's a good track. It's one of the highlights for the record, along with some other ones that were highlights too. But other than that, I think mostly with what I listened to with Gravity, it was pretty catchy from time to time with Heather's vocals, and just execution-wise, this track performed pretty good. So 4.5 out of 5. Thinking About You was, I believe, the last single to announce for this before this record came out. This was the last single, along with another single that's already out already, called Kiss Me Again. That one, but pretty much with what I listened to with Thinking About You, it was nice, but I had a few critiques with the song, with how it was sounding overall. But overall, this is a 4.25 out of 5 for this one. Then you get Perfume. This one wasn't bad. I had a little bit of critiques with this one, but I don't necessarily hate this song, so I'd give it a 4.25 out of 5 as well. Sorry about the background noise. My nephew is throwing a fit and my sister's having to discipline him. So, pretty much with what I listened to with Perfume, it was interesting, but there were a few critiques with the chorus, with how she was repeatedly saying, I want to make you thing. Some weird lyricism, but other than that, it's fine. So, 4.25 out of 5. Last Train Home is a good song for how it sounds. I didn't mind this track for how it executed. Heather's vocals did do alright in this song, so I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. I do dig the track. It's a little melodic, and I had a few critiques, but other than that, it's a good song. Kiss Me Again did have its cringy points with this one, and I think this is already out as a single. From what I could tell, they released it early, I guess. But other than that, it's a 4.25 out of 5 for me for this one. Miss America is a okay track. I'd give this a 4.25 out of 5 for this one. It's just the way Heather was singing the track from time to time. There are some moments where I like it and moments where I don't. But overall, execution-wise, it did alright. So, and the drum work and guitar work was pretty good. So that's a plus. 4.25 out of 5 for Miss America. Hate to Hurt You is another 4.25 out of 5 for me. Um, it's above decent, but it's just most of the tracks are above decent basically, and you get some good tracks then in there, but not a lot of them are uh, the best from what I've listened to. But it's not a bad song. Heather's vocals do sound alright in this track, so 4.25 out of 5. Seeing Stars is a song that was a little on the safe side, but it didn't do so bad from how she was singing it, Heather. So another 4.25 out of 5 for this one. I had my critiques with this one, and sorry about the background noise. Nephew's throwing a fit. Um, so, yeah, 4.25 out of 5 for Seeing Stars. There were a few critiques I had with this track, with how the melody was sounding, and structurally it was hit or miss. Imagination was another above decent track. It's getting another 4.25 out of 5. Most of these tracks did get 4.25 out of 5s. Keep in mind as you went through the review, as I went through the review, talking about each song. But overall, it's not bad. It just, the chorus is somewhat memorable, but it's the verses that were the strong points. So, yeah, 4.25 out of 5 for Imagination. And finally, we close it out with Slow. The album closes out with Slow, the last song. And I think this was a good track. It actually sounded pretty good. So I'd give this a 4.5 out of 5 for this one. There were a few critiques with the verses, but when the chorus came in, it shined very well with Heather's vocals. And it just sounded really nice. This whole record sounded really nice, keep in mind. It's a very mellow record. A little different from their last record, keep in mind. So, pretty much 4.5 out of 5 for Slow. Overall production, mixing, and execution wise, I think Pale Waves Smitten is a decent record. It is a lot better than Unwanted, for sure. Unwanted, they tried doing something that wasn't their style. I mean, there were some songs I did enjoy from Unwanted, but mostly that record was not that great. It was sadly disappointing. But this one is a step in the right direction. Sort of. And when I say sort of, there are a few critiques I have with this record. With how Heather is singing the vocals, her vocals from time to time. It does good, and it doesn't at times. It just depends. Some of the mixing is a little iffy too with this record. But overall, structure-wise, I think this record played it safe in a good way. So if I were to give this record its deserved score, I'm going to give Pale Wave Smitten a 7 out of 10. It's a decent record. Definitely recommend checking this record out to see what you think of it for yourself. It's a lot better than the previous record, Unwanted, which, keep in mind, I did review that on my channel 2 years ago, and it wasn't one of my favorite records. I'll tell you that. Their punk style with music wasn't their direction, and this style is kind of what they need to go for. But overall, Pale Waves is a decent band. It's just they have their hits and misses with music, with their albums mostly, but it just depends on what you think of it overall. So 7 out of 10 for Pale Waves Smitten for their new record. Thank you for watching this album review this afternoon. I will try to get another review out, but it may not happen due to the fact that my power might cut out. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next review in the next day or two from now. The Hurricane Helene might cut my power off for a while, so I'll try to return to you as quickly as possible. But until then, you guys have a good rest of your afternoon. Thanks for watching.